Taylor has expanded the Builder's Edition offerings now into the 500 series with the 514 CE Builder's Edition and a 524. We're going to tell you all about them, so stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, you can visit our spring store link below for custom swag and check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional, wherever you get your podcasts at. So Builder's Editions have been extremely popular since introduction, starting with the Koa models and kind of filtering down through the years. There's been 300 series Builder's Edition. There's been a 500 series in the Grand Pacific. But finally, we get a 500 series Grand Auditorium Builder's Edition. Two of them, in fact. Technically three models because there's two versions of this and then one of the 524. So you have a 514 CE Builder's Edition in Natty, as Cooper would say, or Burst. And then there's a 524 CE version as well. They're similar to the offerings that were being done in 300 series. They've kicked up to the 500 series, gotten a few features as a result of it, like changes in the finish and so forth. But very cool, getting you all of the comfortable, ergonomic Builder's Edition appointments that are also cool looking in 500 series.
So
that's the video.
300 series Builders gone.
Gone.
No more. And that is very disappointing to me.
Because it was one of our best-selling guitars?
324 Builders was a non-stop bestseller, and it is gone now. So if you have one, that's a rarity. It just went up in resale value. It's like a 10 grand guitar now.
Unless you're trading it in.
It's a trade-in. So 324 Builders, been a great seller. It's gone. 314 Builders was a 50th anniversary model.
Right.
Was a good seller. I think people liked the mahogany top of the 324 better. However, it was a different flavor, and a lot of people really dug them. It was one of the guitars that we have not been able to fulfill the amount of demand because they weren't super easy to get, and they only made them for that year. So there are people that missed out on those. Now you have that option as part of, I would say, a standard release, but this isn't standard. This is a Builder's Edition. 514 Builders, 524 Builders, same wood pairings as those 300 versions. So I would think 500 series would either be mahogany from back in the day or iron bark. It is neither of those. This is an urban ash back and sides guitar, just like how the 314 Builders was. For some reason, urban ash kind of has reared its head in certain models and gone away with the GT and that 424 and all that. But 324 and 314 Builders, that was like killer. People loved it. So that's where it should stay, is on a Builders, I think. You got the urban ash back and sides. Sitka spruce top. This one's got the, what did they say, artistically sprayed Kona Burst?
Sprayed Kona Burst that you get on the top, back and sides of this one, or just the back and sides of the natural top version.
Yeah. And then on your 524, you do have mahogany top, urban ash back and sides. Main difference, all gloss.
All gloss. That's the main difference with the 524 as well. You get a gloss finish. So, it's kind of funny to see what's happened with the Builder's Edition line, because if you're familiar, you've been following what's happened in the development. All of those guitars were initially silent satin finish. I think the nomenclature of silent satin's kind of given way at Taylor. It's just more premium satin finish, or I'm not even sure how they're
sateen.
The sateen finish. And a big part of that was because Andy didn't like guitars that would squeak. And I think we were fans of the finish. There was probably pushback somewhere, maybe from larger stores, or what they were getting in feedback from many buyers, where some of them wanted a gloss finish. And so the pendulum swings again, and now we're seeing more gloss come through because people are preferential to that. I will say that particularly with certain finishes, the gloss looks really, really nice, even if it is a little squeaky. Of course, not everyone squeaks, is what Andy was told, right? So maybe you squeak less than Cooper. He had a guitar a minute ago that was very squeaky. Maybe it's your laundry detergent. I don't know.
Arm & Hammer.
So, the finishes can look really cool. Gloss does tend to maybe be a bit more protective
Mm-hmm.
than a sateen finish might be. So that may be a big part of it too. So that's what we've seen with this change, and with, I mean, think about the new 900 series Builders Editions are gloss, the 814 Builders Editions are gloss. So, but this is a really cool guitar, you asked about mahogany. I've kind of thought about this from time to time because some of the changes with 500 series and 700 series and ironbark, similar to rosewood versus koa and whatever.
Yeah.
I have opinions, but I will say this urban ash, Shamel ash, has a very mahogany-esque voice to it.
Yeah.
So it tracks with historically what a 514 was. It can, and we saw this on a lot of the 324s that we would get in, have really dramatic kind of flamey grain from time to time, which is really nice. But I like the tonal response of it. I also like the fact that it's a really nice tone wood that they are sourcing locally. And we learned on our trip that I think the idea that people have of what urban woods are is incorrect. What we learned on our trip is that this stuff is more expensive to get than, say, rosewood from halfway across the world, because there's not an infrastructure for this. Taylor and West Coast Arborists is basically developed the infrastructure for this, and they don't do it with woods that would be unsuitable. And not all of the woods that they're getting from California and through West Coast Arborists are getting the nomenclature of urban.
Yeah.
They're sourcing blackwood, they're sourcing walnut through that program and not calling it urban species. And so if your idea was Taylor's getting cheap, throwaway tree wood, furthest thing from the truth, you should check out our video we did if you'd like to kind of get a whole breakdown on that really fascinating endeavor. But all that to say, I like that as a tone wood.
It sounds great on this guitar. If you're not familiar with Builder's Appointments, you're getting a beveled armrest and a contoured cutaway, chamfered edge.
I want to see them spell, I'd love to see Jim Curlin at Taylor spell that out in the specifications.
That's what that is, dude.
Yeah, but how do you spell it?
So you got the contoured cutaway. You do change up your heel a little bit into a very comfortable kind of, infinity edge.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? The strap button moves back here, but comfortable, very, very cool. Pretty guitar.
You talk about all the edges are chamfered.
Yeah, chamfered edge.
Everything's rounded and
soft.
smooth and soft.
It's soft.
Comfortable. It's so nice.
And you got the chrome toes.
Chrome toe tuners. And what's that inlay pattern, Cooper?
This is what so the official name for it is Lil Buttons, but you can call it whatever you'd like.
You can call it Compass.
Yeah, Compass.
That may be the official name.
Maybe, yeah.
Of it.
So let's take a listen.
All right, so there you have it. 514C Builder's Edition available with the burst top or with a natural top. And you can also get the 524, which adds a mahogany top with a burst to it, and an all gloss finish.
This is the first one that we've got. This is a standard model, not limited edition.
Correct.
So we're going to get bursts, we're going to get naturals, we're going to get 524 builders. I got to get the 324 out of my head.
Anyways, I think it's very cool. I like the look of it. Let us know what you think. Let us know about, the changes to the lineup. I'd love to hear opinions on sateen versus gloss, and what you think of the changes to the 500 series with the Builder's Edition additions. There you go. If you want to check out more information about this guitar, you can go to our website, which is
alamomusic.com.
And you can check out everything there. You can message us directly on the website. We can get something cooking for you. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, share it to all of your friends, post it on Reddit, do all that cool stuff. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time.